Hey everybody, so I wanted to give a quick announcement about the final assignment. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of the description. I'm going to read the description here. I just want to have everything in one place, but I want to try and answer some of the questions that have come up or might come up. So when we're looking at this, again, this is going to be a 10 to 12 page paper or a video that's 15 to 20 minutes. And basically, you're going to be giving a historical account of your spiritual life. You're going to give your engagement with the lesson during these 8 weeks, and then you're going to look towards the future. This is going to kind of be a synthesis of your journals, but not a repetition. So I don't want you just rewriting the things that you said in your journals, though you can and very well should pull from them and pull from your experience in them. And so basically, you're going to have three parts to this assignment. The first part is going to be your past experience, your historical experience with spirituality. So even if you didn't have an experience with spirituality, you can look at this through the lens of the lessons, through the lens of where God might have been. So you can bring that into account. What was your upbringing? How did your parents engage with spirituality, or did they not? Were there things that pushed you away from spirituality? When you're looking at that, really definitely use topics and themes from the lesson. For example, you could use Philos, Eros, and Agape. I saw my parents were great examples of this, and this led me in a way towards spirituality and a spiritual life, a spiritual relationship, with the higher power. You can look at how, you see different, your meditation and contemplation that people have done, and you were able to follow and maybe touch upon whether or not you engaged with it fully. Things of that sort. So I want you engaging with the lesson throughout all three of these parts, and definitely using it as kind of a lens for you to look at. The second part's going to be your engagement with the lesson. What did you think of certain topics? How did you react when certain things you read or saw? What was your experience with this? And so that kind of touches upon where our discussion board conversations, and what you looked at different figures from Placer and things of that sort. The final section is going to be your future, and so you're going to be looking at what might I take forward with me. What am I looking for in my own spiritual life? Am I not looking for anything in my spiritual life? And if I'm not, why? What was it, whether it's from the lesson or my upbringing or what have you, that might not make me want to go back towards any sort of spiritual relationship? And so still looking at with the lens of the lesson, with the lens of the lessons, and really saying, how was I affected, and do I want to bring any of this forward, and what do I want to bring forward, and what practical steps might I take or try to take for the future? How do I want to set a path for myself for the future? And so when you're looking at this, it's going to be kind of a combination of all of the assignments of the past. So when we're looking at it, it's going to be, the concept responses, where I want you engaging with the lessons. I want you really showing that you understood the material. And you don't have to bring all of the lessons in it, but especially, I would say at least 2 or 3 lessons in there that really affected you, that were things that really hit hard and hit home with you. And so there's going to be a minimum of 5 sources for this. 3 of them do need to be from the lessons, whether it's videos or it's the readings, and 2 of them can be from somewhere else, but at least 3 of them have to be from the lessons. And so this is kind of your concept response. You're engaging with the lesson. You're showing what was said. One thing about those sources is that I am not counting the Bible as a source for this paper. Excuse me. Well, it is something very good, and I do encourage you to include biblical scripture and biblical quotes. That's something that I'm going to let you do in addition to those sources, because the Bible is something that should always be a part of a spiritual conversation, or can always be. And so the Bible, while it's a very good thing to include, I'm not including that as one of the minimum 5 sources. 3 of them do need to be from the lesson. 2 of them can be from elsewhere if you do choose to do so. But again, this is a combination of all assignments. There's that concept response. There's the discussion boards of, how we reacted to different figures, what other people said that might have affected us. And then there's the journals. Where was our own spiritual journey throughout all of this? And that can highlight how you were looking at your historical perspective or looking towards your future. And then the final thing is, if you're doing a video, if you're doing the 15 to 20 minute video, you can do just a straight video of yourself. Excuse me. You can't do just a straight video of yourself. However, you do have the option to also do a PowerPoint and a video, or you do have the option to do a PowerPoint and just audio. You do not have the option to do just audio for this final assignment, but like I said, you can do audio and PowerPoint as well. And that might help you to be able to show your sources in it. But definitely when you're using your sources in the video, please especially make sure that you directly say where the source is coming from. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to tell. Even if it's an indirect reference to the source, just say, yeah, Placer talked about this. You don't have to say exactly, but make sure that that direct reference, you're directly referencing where it's coming from. If you guys got any other questions, please let me know and I'll be happy to answer them.